So I am excited to be coming to you today. Happy Sunday. I know that I haven't made a video or written an email or sent you a post for over a week now. I haven't been very well, if the truth be told. And I've spent the last week, really resting, um, just um, trying to get over this thing that's happening in my body and really taking the time to think and journal and all that good stuff. So I haven't really been at work a lot in this week gone by, but I have been thinking about you. And the other thing that's been happening is that I've been having, I mean, a lot of dreams. And what's happened is that um, my dreams have been consistently speaking this message to me that that's why I want to come to you today and share this message with you that I feel like I've been receiving for myself throughout these dreams. I think it's a message for all of us. I think it's a message for many of us. So if you're watching this, I'm really glad that you've decided to press play. I'm really glad that you're part of my community. I'm really glad that we're connected. I really appreciate our connection. If you're watching this, if you're part of my list, but you don't know how you got to my list, or you're watching this and this is the first time you've ever clicked play, then I really want to extend a really warm welcome to you. My work is all about supporting women in senior leadership to own their authority and step into their power and use their true voice for greater influence and impact in high level leadership, in senior leadership teams, in organizations, in industry, and in the workplace and in your field. So I'm really glad that you're here watching this. And yeah, so what I want to do today is I want to go through, I haven't got a script, so we may be here a while, so grab a drink. I've got some water. And yeah, grab a drink and put your feet up. And I want to share with you these dreams. I want to go through them. And so I'm sharing them I'll share an overview of them and hopefully they will inspire you. And then I'll wrap up with sharing what I think all the dreams are saying to us collectively, all together, okay? So the first dream I had, and it was a tiny, tiny dream. I mean, it happened like it was like a snapshot of a dream. And I was in a place where I was having a conversation with someone, and I felt my response to what they had said rise up in me, and I wanted to answer them, and I answered. I opened my mouth and I answered them, but my voice and my message came out like a real sort of squeaky little voice like this, a little quiet, squeaky little voice. And then I heard the spirit say, "You're like a lion showing up as a mouse." And as I heard those words and as I heard the way that my voice came out into the world, and I was inside of myself feeling that frustration, that angst, that pain of of power not coming out of me, power not being expressed. So my voice didn't sound powerful like I felt. I felt powerful, but my voice didn't sound powerful. I sensed power, but power didn't emanate from me. In my voice, it felt like a mouse, actually. Right? So that was the first dream. That was it. I had the whole dream. When I woke up in the morning, I was very present to that feeling of disappointment, that feeling of not recognizing myself, that feeling of like, wow, why am I showing up like that when I am really like this? You know, that was the dream. The dream was really about how it felt inside of me to know that there was this powerful me that wasn't coming out in my voice. That was the first dream. The second one is, oh yeah, the second one, another little sliver. Like I don't remember much of the dream. I don't remember, but the bits that I remember and the impression that I woke up with was that there was this big warehouse. I mean, it was vast, big, sprawling warehouse. And the importance of this was how big it was. It was really extensive. Like it went on for acres, like big, 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 big warehouse. And within the warehouse, there were it's like I saw the warehouse as a whole, and then I got taken to a part of the warehouse, and it was like the White House. I think it was the White House. So the White House was within this warehouse, and there was all this important stuff going on, all these government officials, people walking around with papers, meetings happening, important decisions being made. It was a really important space, and it was within the warehouse. There was all of this important stuff happening within the context of this big warehouse, right? um and then the third place that I got taken to, so I saw the big warehouse, I saw the White House within the warehouse, and then I saw this room within the White House where there were these people. It looked like they were I'd say that they were leaders gathering, and they were having like the coffee break or something. It was like a coffee room, right? It was like the where they went for their break. So they were in there and they were sitting, and I was in there. I wasn't physically in there. I was just seeing into that room. And in that room, they were having these tiny they were gossiping. They were gossiping, they were chatting, they're low vibe conversation. That's what it was. It was low vibe conversation, a meaningless conversation it had a tinge of resentment, bitterness. They were moaning, complaining, gossiping, that kind of thing. Their conversation was low vibe. And I got the sense that I was being shown that within this great big expansion of a place where important White House business was taking place, there were these little conversations, these poor, low level, low vibe, low meaning, unpurposeful, undirected, unimportant, um, not just unimportant, but low vibe, just poor level, poor conversations taking place within the context of this big stuff happening. Oh God, even as I'm saying it to you again now, I'm just really seeing like it's all about the contrast, isn't it? So let me just tell you about the third one. The third dream that I had, this was the next night. I dreamt that I was naked and really up close with a man, like naked. It wasn't sexual, but we were very closely connected, and we were naked. And I could feel his breath on my cheek. Like we were face to face, nose to nose, and body to body, from our heads to our toes. We were very aligned, connected. It was intimacy. It wasn't so much sexual as intimate. We were closely connected. And I said to this man, I know him in waking life, and I said to this man, I thought about you a lot. I thought that we go together. I thought that we belong together, but I thought I was imagining it. And he said to me, no, you're not imagining it. You're not imagining it. We do go together. And then I couldn't believe him. So even though I was next to him, we were really close up, even though I expressed my doubt, and he quashed my doubts. He told me, no, no, you're not imagining it. Like it's really a thing. Like you're really supposed to, when we go together. Um, I still couldn't get it. So the dream, the essence, the thing that I woke up with the most was my doubtful self-talk. Yeah, no, I'm not sure, are you sure about this, Dion? Like doubting myself, questioning myself, double taking, double-mindedness. There was this double-mindedness, even though everything was all lined up, even though I was in the place with this man, nose to nose, head to head, toes to big toe, like we were really aligned. There was something in me that just could not accept that I was enough for this, that there was that the conditions were right, that this was supposed to be happening. Somehow I just couldn't relax into it. I couldn't just accept that this was right for me, that this was okay, that I was allowed, that I had permission, that I could just be here and not worry about it being wrong, right? So that was the next dream, that the conditions, like I'm in the place, it's right, but I'm not settled. It's not settled in my mind that I'm okay for this, that this is right for me, that I can do this, that I deserve this, that this should be. Oh, that was the next dream. I don't know if it's saying anything to you yet, but like these were all every day, these dreams were touching somewhere inside of me, and I'm hoping that they will have the same impact on you. The next night I dreamt, I don't know, I didn't remember this dream, but I know that there was a number, something to do with number 17, which biblically is the number of victory, right? And I don't remember the dream, but all I woke up with, even in my trying to remember the dream, the only thing that I remember was fatigue, was figuring out fatigue. That term came to me as I was just writing these notes this morning. That's what I sensed in the dream, was figuring out fatigue. There was there was number 17. It feels like it has to do with a letterbox or some kind of postage thing. I don't know how to explain that, but I had some things. I had some work, some, like, it's almost like my body of work. I had ideas, insights, notes, papers, and my job was to get it like in the dream. My eyes were open to how my work goes together with this letterbox, right? And I was trying to figure out how to get my stuff through this letterbox, this number 17 letterbox. I don't, it wasn't actually figuratively a letterbox or papers, but that's how it feels, right? You know how dreams are. So yeah, the thing about the dream was my state of trying to figure it all out. It was like, oh God, I get to see. Oh, it's a letterbox. Oh, it's number 17. Oh, I got to get my paper in that. And then trying to figure out how. So it's like this big revelation and trying to figure out how to walk in that river, how to make that thing happen, how to make it happen. Yeah, there was a lot of confusion in that dream, furrowed brows, trying to work it out, trying to figure it out. And yeah, that was a big takeaway from that dream. Yeah, I almost didn't share that one with you because I know it's very sketchy and my memory of it is really poor, but that's the sentiment. That's the only way I can describe what happened in that dream. Okay, and so the last dream that I had this week, because I don't remember what I dreamt last night, but my last dream, I don't remember the dream, but I know it was about David and Goliath. I know it's about David and Goliath. And for those of you that don't know, David was this, like, it's a story in the Bible where this young boy, this young shepherd boy, takes out the Goliath, the big tracting enemy giant that is intimidating his people, right? He does it with a slingshot and a stone. So there is this, again, this sort of like big and little, like this little boy takes out this big giant. And, you know, it's a story that I'm going to talk about way much more because I'm seeing so many things in it that have juicy nuggets for us as we prepare to do our work in our respective places, dealing with these big giant problems. I like to talk about these giants: inequality, inequity, injustice, all the isms, illness, sickness and disease. Like, I feel like these are giants in our professional lives, in our business world, in our marketplace, and that we are leaders who are rising up to take out these giants. So I'll be speaking much more about David and Goliath, but for now, let's just know that in the context of this week, in the context of this week, that's what I dreamt. I dreamt like the last dream was David and Goliath, and it reminds me of the number 17 the night before because um if I'm not mistaken, David's story is in chapter 17 of the book of Samuel. And so it's about this victory, this the little one taking out the big thing, the little things confounding these big, lofty, wise things. It's like this, it's like the little taking out the big, you know? That's what this story was about. This is what this dream was about. My dream was about victory through little things, taking out or challenging or tackling or winning from with big things. So those were the dreams of last week. And I wanted to take the time to share each of them with you because each of them spoke to me in a different way. And I knew every morning when when I was reflecting on them, I knew that they were not just for me, that they were for sharing, that they were for us, that they were for us. And when I pray and I meditate and I think about what these dreams are saying, there is this sense of the calling to step more fully into being great, more fully into occupying the spaces that we're in powerfully. There is like this sense that there's more for us to be, like there's more for us to say, and that we are being called to say it with much more vigor, much more bigger, greater. There's an occupying that needs to that we're being invited to take up more room, to show up more, to speak up more, to be more fully the powerful leader that we are born to be. I know that you hear me talking about this all the time, and maybe that's why I'm dreaming these dreams. But and even if that, even if I'm just talking to myself, even if I'm having the dreams for myself, because where I am right now, I believe that I'm not the only one. I believe that these dreams are speaking to all of us, that we're being called to ascend higher, like take up more room, to go further with our greatness, to show up more fully, to have a deeper conviction, to steward our power well, and to show up with it, to put away things. Like I'm thinking about the people in the staff room that were gossiping and complaining and backbiting and resentful. Like, we've got to get that stuff handled because a door is about to open. I know I say it all the time, but doors of opportunity are about to open, and we need you to be straight about your lioness nature, straight about your royalty, and your power. And we need you to be clean hearted, clean minded, clean. We need you to be clean in your speaking, clean in your motives, clean in your intentions, and ready to show up full throttle, full force as the powerful leader that you are. I know I'm speaking to myself. So even if you don't get what I'm saying, I'm speaking to myself. But I really believe it's for you too. I really believe that these dreams it just felt like they were building on each other. This one of the things that I saw in the lion like a mouse dream was I saw that for you, maybe, there is there's a heavy feeling of this ain't it for me, like this despondency, this disillusionment, like when you think about who you really are, when you think about who you're remembering, you're waking up to when who you really think you are, the power that you have, and then you look at your life and you think, my God, like how did I get here? Like, why is it like this? Why is it this way when I'm like this? Why is my life looking like this? Right? That feeling, do you recognize yourself in that feeling? So I know that for many of us, that is a feeling, that is a sign that this message is for you, that this call is yours, that those feelings aren't random, that they're happening because you're being called to step more fully into your powerful self, show up more fully as the powerful, the powerhouse, the influential woman that you really are, that you were designed to be, that you were born to be at such a time as this. Yeah. And the big warehouse dream, there was this sense that there's such important work to do. There's such important work happening, such important conversations. Like, this was an opportunity for world change. This is an opportunity for lives to be transformed, for new types of outcomes, for new types of results. Like, there was this activity happening, like it was really happening in this big space. And yet there was just the conversations were just completely missing the mark when it came to the opportunity for all this important work and change. It just seemed like such futile conversations happening in a place where there was such possibility. Does that speak to you? Does that speak to you? Do you sense victory wanting to come? What does victory look like? What does victory, what does new transformed outcomes look like? But this is something that I really want you to be thinking about. And the message of the figuring out fatigue is that, you know, we don't have to have all the answers. Like, that was, yeah, that's a really big point to make, actually. In that 17 dream, a big thing that's coming up out of that dream for me is that you don't have to have it all figured out. That, you know, that if you're going to spend a lot of energy trying to figure it out, these things are unfigure outable. They're only walk outable. That's what I hear. That these things, you can't figure it all out. You can't get all your ducks in a row. You can't make it all nice and neat and perfect and polished and, you know, with a bow on. That you have to just begin to walk it out. You have to just begin to show up, to speak up, to share your ideas. You just have to begin. You have to start walking this out. You have to begin to let people see you. You have to begin to let people close. You have to be, people are close. People that need your ideas are close, and they need you to get out of your head. Like, I talk a lot about being all up in your headedness. Like, we have to get out of our heads and just start showing up, speaking up. Stop trying to figure it all out. Stop trying to calculate how things go and where things fit. Just start showing up. Just start speaking your truth. I believe that there is a power surge coming to us as we position ourselves to speak out and call out and challenge these big problems that we have, and that you are part of a big you're a big part. You matter. Your ideas matter. Your leadership matters, and that it's time for you to start to do this work, to get yourself ready to show up powerfully in your space. I mean, I don't know if I feel like I've said it all. I feel like I could almost start this video all over again, because I feel there's this message that is hard to put words to, but that I feel very convicted to share. That you're not being you enough. It's time to be more you, the powerful you, more expressive as a powerful you in your senior leadership. That's what I think. And these dreams, I might not have done them justice because I didn't make notes, and this is not scripted, and I'm speaking them out loud for the first time on this video. So they may be a little bit all over the place, but I'm hoping that you can catch what we're being offered, the message that we're being asked to receive. I hope you can catch it. I would love to know how it's landing for you. I'd love to know what you're hearing. And if you're still watching, why? Why? What's happening for you as you're listening to this? I think if you're still watching this, that's a clue that I'm speaking to you. I think if you're still watching this, that's a clue that this is for you and that there is a powerful you that is wanting to emerge in your organization, in your industry, and in your field. I want you to reach out. I want you to let's have a conversation. Let's have a woman to woman behind the mask, no BS, straight talking conversation about finding your best next steps to more powerful expression in senior leadership, to you showing up more fully, to you being part of this victory that I can feel coming in your space. I really want to speak with you. So use the link that accompanies this video. My name is Dion Johnson, and yeah, I would love to speak. So get in touch, okay? See you later.